Project Lore, episode number 5. In this week's episode, we are going into the Botanica. Now, the Botanica is the second section in the Tempest Keep. We went into the Mechanar a couple weeks back. The Tempest Keep was created by the Naru and is being overrun by the Blood Elves. Now, we have Kael'thas's commander is in the Botanica, guarding the Botanica. They're doing experiments on all the plant life in Azeroth. They actually have an arcane ancient, or an ancient of the arcane, that was captured from Darnassus and is actually the end boss in Botanica. So basically, we want to go in and disrupt all their experiments and defeat the Blood Elves as best we can. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Project Lore. In this week's episode, the role of Dr. Dark shall be played by Schnoobin.
Salutations!
Schnoobins. So, let's get into this and kill some trash, shall we? Mark skis. Now, Jimmy, don't go after the sheep.
He just gets a little crazy sometimes.
Ooh, nice heels. You must have some epic shit on.
I'm wearing real good gear.
Cool.
How good?
It's real good.
Good.
So the Mender is a healer?
We're going to sheep that one first.
Yes.
Pulling.
So now this is the part where the hunter just lays down and relaxes to gather his energy.
So Dorkins is dead currently.
No, he's not.
Get
That's what they
around
call
his body.
feigned death. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody gather round, gather round. It's time for some brilliance. Playing smart, people. May not be teachers, but we are intellectuals.
Kill it, kill it.
Oh, look at that extra awesome polymorphism.
Nice work, dude.
Okay.
I think we're getting the groove here.
Yeah. Okay, we need the boss to be away up the bridge before we pull. Otherwise, we pull the boss. Gotcha.
Whatever. Just don't let me die.
Whatever. Pulling. There are a lot of people that don't understand that aren't at the level yet to have to deal with the whole like tank, DPS, crowd control mechanic. Mm-hmm. So I thought maybe we'd take a second to talk about tanking. Right?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Tanking,
Okay.
I have to say, is a thankless task. A lot like healing. DPS, everybody thanks DPS, top of the DPS.
Right, everybody
charts.
wants to be DPS and throw it out there and
Yeah,
make it hard.
and
Of
when-
course they should, because
yeah.
we damage everything.
Right, exactly.
Go ahead.
It's the most important
So-
job, I think.
I agree. So tanking and healing are two most important jobs, and they're also the most thankless jobs. Tanking is all about generating
Generating
threat.
aggro. Generating threat.
Yeah.
Right.
So what? Like, talk through your cycle. Like, how do you? He's a warrior. You're a prot warrior.
Yeah, I'm spec'd as a prot warrior, so all of my skills and everything are designed to be a standing meat shield. So I have massive armor and stamina buffs on everything, and stamina gems to get massive amount of hit points and a massive amount of armor. And so all I do is run in and stand in front of the bad guy and wave my hands and hit him real hard so he doesn't go after everybody else.
Yeah.
And
Stamina equals hit points?
Stamina equals hit points.
Yeah. So what are your hit points right now? What are you?
My hit points right now, well, I don't know if we have any buffs on here, do I?
So
Nothing.
unbuffed.
So unbuffed, my health, my stamina, my health is 15,054.
So that's a lot. Like compared to
lot.
me, I can't even see how
I
much.
have
You have
7,800.
7,773.
Yeah, I'm wearing
Not
mail,
even
and I have
half.
7,960.
And
Yeah,
my
yeah,
armor is 16,000.
I have over half. Thank you very much.
Which is awesome.
And my armor is 16,000. Now on the other side, like my damage is only 180 to 264.
Right.
Versus like
So my
mine, which
DPS
would be
is
like
138.
3.7.
Yeah,
Well,
my
mine's like
DPS
1,000.
is 138.
So, but the hard thing
Wow.
is that, when you're managing multiple ads, I think that's the biggest problem
Right.
for tanks because,
Yes.
it's easy to sort of like,
You can take
this
one
is the guy
thing.
I'm,
Yep, I can stand at one guy, and there are several moves and skills that I fire off that generate threat, whether it's Devastate or my Shield Slam, which is one of the big ones, or Thunderclap. So standing there tanking one is pretty easy.
Yeah. But it's
Oh.
when multiples come in that it gets really difficult.
Right, and so what you have to do is you target one, throw a bunch of threat on him, and then target the next one, and throw a bunch of threat on him, so you can keep them both looking at you instead
Yeah.
of attacking other people. Go.
Jerry.
Now, paladins have consecrate for like as an AOE threat generator. Do
Correct.
warriors have that? Isn't that what Thunderclap is?
Thunderclap is yeah, it's an AOE threat generator, exactly. So that
So
one
if you get multiples, do you have to do the target each?
with Thunderclap
or
you
can
don't have
just
to.
Thunderclap?
I just throw it
It's just-
down and it lands on everything.
Now,
Is that what
Thunderclap
you
is
do?
an
Is that how you
example.
do it?
Thing, though.
What's that, Juggy?
It's just a one-time thing. It doesn't lay there.
Right, it's
lay
not
there like
persistent. I
Consecrate.
fire it
Yeah.
off and it
What do you mean
happens once.
persistent?
Like
Consecrate is damage over time. So Consecrate
Right.
is always constantly adding threat to every other thing, but Thunderclap happens once and then it cools down.
It's whatever's
Right.
in that
So you can
radius
only
gets
do it
that
when
action.
But
it's
everything
cooled down.
coming at him or at us,
Right.
if he thunderclaps, will go to
and
him.
it's within
correct?
that range.
If
Not-
it's in
it
within
doesn't necessarily
the
will-
radius.
The
As
way
long as it
works-
generates enough aggro.
Right. They don't necessarily, they're not necessarily attracted to me. If it already has more threat, if somebody else has more
Yeah.
threat on it,
It just does damage to those.
Doesn't
as
it
they come
also? It only hits like 4 or 5 targets, something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
4 or 5, something like that. Like
So Consecrate is interesting. So Pallies are interesting tankers. The problem is Pally's threat relies solely on mana. So in the long fights, if a Pally tank runs out of mana, they basically can't generate threat at
Right.
all. So
That's
it's
interesting.
game over for
and
Pally.
my threat is just based on how much I hit or get hit.
Yeah, and also your rage, increases and all that stuff. So that's kind of tanking mechanics. We're going to talk a little bit about all the different classes as we go through here because a lot of people have been asking for that in the forums and in the on the site. So now let's kill this lady. So we're here at the first boss in Botanica, Commander Serenus. We think it's Serenus? Something along those lines.
You wanna
Serenus. Yeah, no, that's all right.
Sereno.
Serenus. So this is actually Kael'thas's main commander, and she's sort of in charge of protecting the Botanica, which is where they're doing all these crazy plant experiments and such. She has 2 special abilities. She uses Arcane Resonance, which is a debuff that stacks up to 3 times, increasing the arcane damage on the target by 1,200 each time. She'll lay that onto the tank to do more damage on him. And then she has Arcane Devastation, which is just a giant arcane hit, melee hit, as it were. So the trick with her, pretty much it's a tank and spank, except she, at about 50 to 30% health, she'll start spawning ads. So she spawns 4 ads, 3 non-elites, and 1 elite. So when she spawns those ads, I'm going to have Schnuben sheep the elite, and then if you want to do your area of fear,
Okay.
after I get the sheep off.
Just call it out.
I'll call it off, or I'll call it out. And then if for some reason we don't burn her down fast enough with the DPS that we have, we should be able to burn her down before the second wave of ads comes. But if we're having some trouble and the fear guys come back, Dorkins, you and I are going to pick up the ads. So you just if you see the ads coming back without not feared, don't go after the sheep, but just grab one of the ads, and we'll start rocking it.
That's it.
So that is Commander Serenus, as it were. Let's see what we can do. All right, let's get a ready check here.
Are we doing a misdirect?
Yeah, misdirect to Lyle.
Ready, check. We're ready.
Okay.
Do it. There she is.
Step forward.
Do we need to stand in any certain place here?
Step forward.
No, right there's fine.
Mandor Shorelara.
Wow. All right.
What, did she say something and hit you?
No, he's just taking serious damage.
That's because he's got that debuff on. Alright, time for my DPS stuff.
Good thing my heals are so elite.
Ha!
She is going down. Oh!
Bring it!
Heroism! What?
Oh, she's going down.
Before the ads happen?
Oh my god!
DBS! DBS! FTW, DBS! DBS, FTW, DBS!
Imperial Tanzanite, 5 spirit, 9 healing, 3 spell damage.
Ooh. What
I
say
could
ye?
use that gem. What?
Anybody want the mail?
Male shoulder pads, blue male shoulder pads.
Not for an
Probably all
offset or
have.
anything?
DE. DE.
Okay.
All right, so we just defeated the first boss. Let's head on in and clear the rest of the trash, shall we?
Yeah, we gotta watch that cloud, right? Now I'm dropping my poison cleansing totem because these guys keep poisoning us.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Ready to go. Faster the better. Because I only have 12 seconds.
We can keep talking.
Yeah, we can talk while we're fighting.
Yeah, that's never worked before.
It worked for me.
Works for me.
Okay, I'm going to take Skull and X, trap the square about where you trapped the last one. Moon, Sheep, Moon, and...
All right, moon, sheep, moon. Here we go.
What's with the shades, Corey Hart?
Check it.
Whoa!
Sick, right?
IZ3D, the world's first 3D monitor designed for gamers.
It's like I'm in the world of Warcraft.
All right, well, before we get going too far, we talked a little bit about tanking. Maybe we can talk a bit about healing. I mean, healing's pretty straightforward, right? I mean,
Totally straightforward.
You pretty much look at what needs healing.
The trick with healing
Yeah.
is that you've got multiple targets, whereas most people, DPS tanking, you're dealing with, unless you're AoE tanking, but you're focusing on one person.
On the tank, yeah.
Whereas the healer is looking at everybody in the raid or the group.
Right, because there's a lot of stuff that does little AoEs around to the group, you know.
Yeah.
The tank is taking the most of the damage, and all of a sudden it's like Arcane Volley for no reason, and every single
Right.
person in the instance is like,
the
now everybody
cloth
needs to be
especially
Thank you,
drop.
Schnooby.
And it's like, oh, what do I do? And that's why chain healing is pretty rad
Yeah.
for me. And I think druids have some heal over
AoE
time.
Tranquility,
That's
actually, which we'll see
That's
in a second.
awesome.
One thing I'm curious about with the healer is how you switch between targets and move around fast enough to
Well, you
heal?
should
Well,
talk
that's
about
the trick.
grid.
Is in my, well, it's not my opinion. It's sort of fact.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing these end game stuff, heroics and whatever, if you don't have an add-on that helps you with basically instant healing everybody,
Yeah.
then you're not going to be adequate. I mean,
So
you're not going to be
use
effective.
yeah, and so you use grid and clicks.
I use grid and click.
Now, how do those work?
Click is an add-on that binds certain spells to basically the clicks of your mouse.
Right.
So I have my major heal is my left click,
Yeah.
and I can click. The grid is just a grid that shows everybody in a square grid.
Right.
Everybody in the raid, everybody in the party, and I can see who has aggro. There's a little red dot in the square of Lyle's name. I can see he's got aggro, and I can see how much damage they're taking.
Right.
And I can basically major heal, lesser heal accordingly.
Right.
Chain heal.
Right.
If I can see, and my chain heals a lot of time. I'll start with the clothware. Like if everybody's taking damage, I'll start on the clothware, and it'll heal
through them.
Yeah,
Does
he'll
it,
get the big heal,
right?
and
So
then
it
it'll
starts
jump
and then
down
it
to-
mitigates down as it goes through.
And
That's
it
cool.
chooses who needs the rest of the heals.
Yeah, that's
But I'll
cool.
start with cloth, or I'll start with leather, and hopefully it'll go to the maleware after that.
Now, I want to say real quick, healing is another thankless job because, a lot of times when stuff goes down and a party wipes, the first person to be blamed is...
That's the thing, is I'm going to disagree that it's not thankless. I think everybody's pretty thankful for the healer.
Yeah,
but
it's the most...
blameful.
It's blameful, yeah.
And it's not glamorous.
Is what it is. It's not glamorous.
Yeah.
And it's totally different when I chose to be a healer, because I leveled up as elemental.
Right.
And then I switched to healer, and it's
a different
where
game.
everyone else is sort of looking at the stuff that's actually the animation that's happening on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking at the party avatars, like
Right.
or the frames.
Yeah.
And so it's very strange. You have to split your focus because sometimes you have to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, you don't back into stuff.
You
and
know,
do
we're
accidental
getting
pulls and
poisoned. I'll
stuff.
drop poison, cleansing totem,
Right.
but I got to keep everybody healed. It's very weird.
Well, I appreciate the healing. Thank you, especially as my cloth guy.
Thank you. Just don't blame me.
Well, and it's the same thing for the tank. A tank in an instance cannot exist without a healer.
Yeah. Oh no.
So-
no, it's-
Yeah, they're
Totally
the yin and the
symbiotic.
yang.
Yep.
Totally symbiotic.
Okay, I believe you. We're here at the second boss in Botanica, High Botanist Freywin. Now, High Botanist Freywin is actually the guy. He is the high-end botanist guy who is basically overseeing all of these freakish experiments with plants and making them bad guys. This is an interesting fight. It's pretty much a tank and spank. However, he summons these plant seedlings, and the plant seedlings all do different. They have different abilities themselves, like Frost Nova. I think one of them does, and some other thing. So what we're going to do is in that phase of the fight, we're just going to have Lyle. As soon as you see those ads, just fear them.
Okay.
They're pretty easy. They'll go down pretty fast. Goggins call out because they go randomly to people in the thing. If a couple of them get onto you, call out. I'll run over and do some AoE stuff to get them off of you. Okay.
Okay.
But they're just little itty bitty plants. What's going to happen is, a ways through the fight, this guy is going to turn into a tree of life. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to tank him right between these two columns, right? Mm-hmm. When he becomes a tree of life, Lyle, you're going to run around behind here.
I vaguely remember
Yeah,
this.
and the reason why you do that is because when he turns into the tree of life, he pulls 3 elite guys in. And so we need to pull them away from the High Botanist because he does Tranquility, which is an AoE heal. So basically, if you don't move those guys out, he will be constantly
So
healing
they're going to
them
aggro on
as
me
they
as
do.
soon as they show up?
I don't know. I'm probably a different aggro
I'll probably
table,
have
but
to throw down.
what I would
Thunderclap
do
or
is, as
something.
soon as he does that, as soon as he turns into a tree, Thunder Stomp, and then run around the corner. And then try to mark them quick or do something so
Okay.
we know who to
Okay.
go through.
Okay.
And then we'll just burn them down. As soon as he's back from tree form, start attacking him again, and then hopefully we'll only have to go through that phase once
Okay.
because of our massive DPS. So, let's give this guy a shot.
Ready, check?
Yes, sir. Okie dokie. Everybody have their buffs up.
These specimens are very delicate.
Perfect, right there. I'm just gonna pyroblast the ceiling.
So when do I need to fear them?
As soon as they show up, so like right now would be good.
Okay, let me get some.
Coming right at me. Coming right at me. Coming right at me. I'm slow.
Feel it.
Yeah, he's just got it slow on you right now, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Nature
Let's go.
Oh, run.
I got frozen.
It's okay. Everybody around the corner, including Jimmy. Alright, now get on the protectors. Highlight Lyle, target what he's targeting.
They're not elites,
Okay, well then let's really
which is
get
good.
So now what do we do?
Back. Go get him.
Yeah, back to him.
Back?
Okay. Pick him up. Nice work, guys.
That's the pattern. That's all you have to do.
JT, pop heroism at like now.
Pop heroism like now.
He's done.
This guy's toast.
Alright, kill
Nice.
these little guys.
Those little guys.
DPS, DPS.
AoEs. Easy. Good work. So we only had to go through one phase of that around the corner. I thought they were going to be elites. They weren't elites.
Ooh, cool fist weapon.
Let's see what he dropped. Ooh, a fist weapon?
Yep.
Oh, where's Dr. Dark when you need him?
Only blue, though. I'm going to DE this.
Cool. BE.
I got a badge of justice.
I got a bad of justice as well. All right, so we defeated the second boss in Botanica. Let's move through the trash and check out the third boss.
Come on, Jimmy, get in there. Stop being a little whiner.
All right, good.
This is that room. Here we go.
What is this room?
This is right before that demon guy.
That is the demon guy.
So you don't want to pull these guys below.
Oh, it's one of those. Okay.
Nice work.
I feel bad for that guy.
I know, me
I
a
don't.
little bit.
He had his chance.
Let Lyle get some aggro there. Misdirect if you have it.
Got it.
Beautiful. Good work, everybody. Dorks, you ready?
Yep, totally.
Do it.
Perfect.
All right, well, so before we get into this boss, we've talked about tanking,
Yeah.
talked about healing. Let's talk a little bit about crowd control and DPS.
So mage and we're going to talk about a mage,
Mage and hunter.
A hunter.
Mage,
Oh.
hunter, and rogue.
Hunter.
And
I didn't know Hunter's
warlock,
crowd
I guess,
control.
at some point. So here's the thing that's interesting about our makeup with our show. As you saw in episode 1, 2, I don't know about 3, 4, I think. Our usual class makeup: rogue, warrior, shaman healer, hunter, hunter,
killer.
hunter, and our friend Vi Satellite is a enhancement shaman. Not a lot of crowd control. So one of the problems that people have is that yes, a tank can tank multiple ads or targets. You don't really want that to be the case. Usually you want to crowd control everything and tank and kill in
One at a time.
One at a time.
One at a time.
So some of the ways you do that, as a hunter over here, Dorkins, who used to be survivalist, who's
Used
now
to be.
back to Beastmaster. Why don't you talk a little bit about trap management and mainly freezing traps, but
Sure. So that's pretty much all we have to crowd control is the freezing trap. And I can drop that trap, and then for 30 seconds, actually for a full minute, it'll be sitting out there.
Perfect.
But for 30 seconds, I cannot drop another trap. So let's say we pull something, and it runs at my trap, and my trap happens to fail, which you guys know happens all the time. Then there's really nothing more that I can do. I would have to kite it around, but usually they hit me a couple of times and I'm dead. So the idea, if you're a Beastmaster and you're not in Survivalist, is to drop your trap, everybody wait for 30 seconds before doing anything, so that by that time, if we pull something and it does break, I can drop another one right away
Got
and
it.
trap them again,
Got it.
and then we can go through the process. And it works fairly well.
it does work very well.
You can trap anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's beast, dragonkin, human,
That's-
whatever.
Which is key,
huge.
because
Which is-
sheep. So for me as a rogue, the only crowd control stuff I have is mainly sap, and sap is only humanoid, and also sap is only at the beginning, so not in combat. I can do blind, which is good, and in a pinch, man, does it help. But it's really short. It's very easy to break. which is why I'm running Project Lore's favorite friend, Schnoobins, today, because that, of course, gives us the option of having sheep, which is awesome.
Which is probably one of the best crowd control.
If not the best crowd control in the game.
Yeah.
Also, your crowd control is you help the tank by misdirecting.
That's also true.
Yes.
Which I am a big fan because that helps with a misdirect, which I'm sure you can talk about if you want, how the misdirect works.
It's very cool. What you do is you put your focus on your tank, in this case, Mr. Lyle Lovett, and I actually have a macro that allows me to target the target, and then click my misdirect at the same time, and then what that'll do is it'll put the misdirect on Lyle so that when I hit the target, that target will gain aggro on Lyle.
So when you shoot the target, he's like, "Oh, I think Lyle Lovett shot me."
Lyle Lovett's
goes after
shooting
me.
at me, that mother effer, and so he goes after him,
Which
and that
is
gives
great.
me 3 shots to actually give that much threat over to Lyle.
So if it's a creature actually that is hard, it's back on the tank side. Okay, if it's somebody that you need to get aggro on fast, it gives me a jump start on aggro.
It's also a great way,
hitting him.
and it's also a lot of times it'll be a way that people pull. So before with paladins, they had the shield thing where they could throw their shield. The problem was like with a rogue, you'd sap one and the shield would hit everything and breaking the sap. They did change that in a patch that just came out where the shield, I can't remember what it's called, like Commander's Shield or something like that, where it actually will skip anything that's been CC'd. But so for a while, that was the way that you pulled with a pally. When there was a group, you would sap, the hunter would misdirect to the pally tank, and then the pally tank would throw up Consecrate and start the battle. So I'm a big fan of misdirect. Schnoobins is here for sheep, and that's kind of the deal with crowd control is, get it so that it's as few people as possible, and then of course you go in your order of, most likely to drop crowd control. So of course we usually, if there's a rogue, we attack the person who's sapped after letting the ice block guy stay in. Then we would go after the ice block. Then you go after sheep. Basically, you do it in the order of which it's less likely that they'd break out. So good work, crowd control people. Let's talk about Thorngrin the Tender, shall we? So Thorngrin the Tender is the 3rd boss in Botanica. He is a demon paladin. Don't know if you guys knew that he was a paladin. He's pretty much a tank and spank. He has a couple things that he does that really suck. One, he sacrifices. So there's like an altar of thorns in the center. So Lyle, you want to tank him in the center, and even farther back if you can.
Further back from where he's standing now?
Yeah, where you're standing is where you want to tank him.
Or
maybe slightly back from where you are.
Got
so
it.
in the center of the room.
Got it.
Reason being is because the second thing he does, and when you are sacrificed, you get damage. Juggy is actually going to switch off and heal.
Good.
And he's going to heal whoever gets sacrificed.
Yeah, this is a hard fight to heal.
I think with an off healer,
Everyone's spread out.
but I think with an off healer, it'll be all right because here's the damage that this guy does. He does Hellfire. Hellfire is basically like Consecrate, so it's a big area attack, flame attack. The reason why you want to tank him away from that is because if somebody gets sacrificed and he's close enough that his Hellfire hits the guy who's being sacrificed, they're out. That's it. They're done. Our shaman
What does
is gonna
sacrifice do again? I'm sorry.
Sacrifice is that chains thing where you basically get held in chains and you do a damage over time. It's
Is
like,
it still called demon chains?
It's called
You can't
sacrifice. You
kill
can't
it.
kill it.
Oh.
It's not like in Ghaz'an.
It puts you
it's
up
not like
where
Guild
he's
Hall.
standing
Got it.
currently.
Yeah. So the key is you get really screwed. It's called double screwed. When you are sacrificed and Hellfire is under you, it's called double screwed. So Juggy, our elemental shaman or enhancement shaman, is going to break off and do some healing on the sacrificed person. Tank and spank. Lyle, make sure to keep him back. Hey, as far as everything else goes. Oh, so when he does his Hellfire, get out of it.
Okay.
Drag back out of it. Just
Okay.
don't walk him towards the sacrifice, but get out of that
Okay.
Hellfire.
Should I wear my resistance cloak?
What is it
For
a
this?
resistance of?
12 to everything.
You'll be okay.
I think
Okay.
you'll be right, yeah.
Great. I'll stay with Mega then. Okay, we're going to do a ready check.
Let's kill this guy. All right, here we go.
Ready to rock?
Yes.
Misdirecting
fuck
to
yeah.
Lyle.
Misdirect.
Misdirecting to Lyle. Here
Got
we go. Back wallet, Lyle.
That sounds like Gargamel.
Ooh, nice trap.
Oh, already? You fucking bastard.
Oh yeah, drop DPS, drop DPS.
Up.
Slow.
Let us pick up on Lyle. I'm
And
sacrificed. That's okay.
Nubens, I got you. I got you, Nubens.
Thank you.
Okay. Go on, Lyle.
It's funny, I haven't been healed yet. I haven't
Yeah,
been
it's
healed
not
yet.
working. I
I
don't
haven't
know
been
why.
healed
I
yet.
got you. I got you.
I don't know why.
What do you mean you don't know why?
I figured it out.
Okay.
Wrong button?
No, I was blindsided you.
Damn it. What the hell is my cat's name?
Jimmy. All right, there
That
we go.
worked
Wow.
that time.
Good
Okay.
work, good work. Here we go. Let's do some DPS now, shall we?
You forgot your cat's name.
Oh,
Come on.
what is this? Sacrificial.
Get him, get him.
Why does he keep
I got Dorgan.
pulling
I
off?
got Dorgan.
Oh.
Like I can't
Juggy's
even-
got aggro.
Yeah, get him out of there so he's
Juggy's
not...
gonna get hit.
I got you.
Dead.
I got you.
I'm dead.
Damn it.
Okay, that's all right. Hold on.
We can
Everybody,
still- we can still
slow
do
down
it.
DPS. Let's do it. All right, here we go.
This direct is not up. What the hell? Twice in a row?
Here, Juggy. He's
Why-
gonna hit me. He's hitting me.
Well,
Get in there,
I
just get
can't
in.
pull the aggro. I can't get him off of anybody.
Okay, I reincarnated. That's second
Here we go.
chance.
Here we go. This is it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop Manaside right here.
Come on, Lyle. What again?
He's coming. He's coming.
Oh, don't sacrifice me.
I can't.
I got
Run
you.
toward me.
Sacrifice if I can't get in. Nice. Here we go. Let's get this guy.
Nail him. Nail him. Burn him.
Yeah,
He's at
burn him, burn him, burn
20%.
him.
I'm sacrificed.
All right, again.
Stop. Run toward me.
We got him.
All right, we got him. We got him.
Yeah.
All in, all in, all in. DPS, DPS, DPS,
hit him,
dorks,
hit him.
DPS, DPS. Nice. God, I hate that guy.
Dude.
I gotta say, woot for 2 reincarnates right there, huh?
I'll take 2 reincarnates over lack of crowd control, and it is weak.
Okay, I'm down for that purple gem because I'll use that for an offset.
Do it.
If you don't mind, I'm
45
going to take that ring too for my offset.
Yeah,
Here's what's okay.
Okay, let's.
This
let's
is what's
do
frustrating
strat
to me
afterwards.
about this guy
Yeah.
is that it seems like
I
our
think he was
strategy
dropping
was
his loot.
barely working.
I know, and I think he drops his aggro table. He
Well,
must.
it's weird because sometimes out of the hellfire, he would aggro me,
Yeah.
and other times he
wouldn't.
wouldn't, and then I couldn't get it back.
Yeah. I don't know
Were
what it was.
you misdirecting every time?
When it came up,
Whenever it was
yes.
up, he was misdirecting.
I thought the plan was every time he does the hellfire
doesn't
and it
work.
stops,
It's
you
not- he
misdirect to
hellfire-
him.
Problem is,
He
it doesn't
hellfires
work
too
like
quick.
that. He's
He
not doing it
hellfires
every
too
2
quick.
minutes. He's doing it every
Every
14
And-
minute.
Oh, misdirect only
Fine.
works every 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not enough.
I know. That's why I was like, just anytime it's up, hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
All right. Well, we just killed the 3rd boss in Botanica. We're going to be moving on through this little doorway here to the 4th boss. Let's clear some trash.
Oh, decay everywhere.
Yeah, you gotta get out of the red.
I'm out of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
look at it.
Got it.
DPS.
Jimmy is a flower.
That's called polymorph.
Yeah, but not into a flower.
Into a flower.
All right, they're on the healer.
What is on
They're
here?
on the
Turn,
healer.
turn, dorks, get the thing on the healer. Dorkins.
They're on
You and
the
me, healer.
The healer's getting hit.
There, we got it.
One thing that never should ever happen is that the healer's getting hit.
Nice.
That's like his pirate song.
Hey, Goggins. I've got a potion for you.
I'm assuming the mutilate fear shrieker fears.
Oh. Can you sheep these?
No.
Jimmy, get out of there. What are you doing?
Dude, Jimmy Crack Corn, he don't care.
He really just doesn't.
Before we get into the boss, we want to talk about the last. We talked about healing, tanking, crowd control. Bottom line is, once you get all that stuff together, you got to DPS. DPS, obviously, damage per second. So some of the major DPS classes: Rogue, Hunter,
Mage.
which is also what I'm rocking, and Elemental Shami,
Warlock.
Enhancement Shami,
Warrior,
Warlock, Fury Warlock, Fury Warrior.
Ret Pally?
Ret Pally, yeah, that's it's funny. That's really rare to see really good high-end DPS out of a Ret Pally. When you see one, you realize how badass they can be. I ran something.
Is Elemental Shaman considered DPS?
I think so, yeah.
It's range DPS.
Yeah, because there's no other. I mean, it's sort of like
casting DPS.
Yeah, it's like you also have feral druids, and you also have balanced druids. Can be the boomkins as they were.
What's the priest class that's not
Shadow
druid?
priests? Shadow priests are also pretty epic. So the bottom line is DPS is the most straightforward. You're basically trying to do as much damage as possible on the target, watching your threat, because the balance, the dance with DPS is when you get more threat accrued than the tank, you pull aggro, and that's not where you want to be, especially a clothy like myself.
And DPS being the glamorous classes.
DPS, of course, being the glamorous classes, because the more DPS, the faster you kill things. The faster you kill things, the better you do through
As
the
an example,
instances.
when I crit, like if I crit, I'll crit for 1,000.
Right.
If I'm lucky.
Right, and
800 to 1,000.
Schnoobins here will crit Pyroblast for like 67k.
And Darkins for like 40,000, but that's something.
Whatever, but he's got a weird add-on
His
that just
game
adds
just doesn't-
10
his
and
game
20
doesn't work
times
correctly.
for everything.
Not
that crits.
67k, 6.7k. You're not critting for
6.7k, yes, not
67,000.
67,000, 6k basically, or 7k. And there are actually some warlocks that'll do arcane bolt or shadow bolts that do like 11k. I mean, crazy shit. So, it's sort of the most sexy of the things, and it's also the most straightforward, I think, of the classes. Mainly, you just got to watch out, don't pull aggro, and you'll be good. Let's get into the fourth boss in Botanica, Laj, or Laj, as it were, L-A-J. Laj is basically the first baddie that the high botanist Freywin has created. So he is an elemental lasher. He's pretty straightforward. He, like a lot of things that we've seen so far, does that weird cloud that you have to get out of. It's sort of like a disease cloud. So poison cleansing, very good.
Disease cleansing.
Oh, disease cleansing, sorry. Disease cleansing, very good. Also, there's a couple different ways to handle him, because he will teleport back to the little platform he's on and summon 2 ads, right?
Yep.
The easy way to do it, which is I think what we'll try to do here, is that if you pull him out the hallway, the ads won't make it out to you.
Which
So you
hallway? The
don't-
way we came from?
The way we came from.
Okay.
So basically the room out back. And then when he teleports, he'll teleport away and we just wait. And then he will come back out through the hallway. We DPS again.
Okay.
You pick him up, we DPS.
Okay.
It's sort of the easiest way to handle him. And there are a couple other ways. If you have a warlock, it's really great because you can banish the... or is that priest that banishes?
Warlock.
Warlock, okay. Warlock can banish them. We're just not going to deal with them. We're going to deal with the guy out the hall. The other thing is he turns blue, red, green, white, and black. And when he turns those colors, he's just resistant to that type of damage. We don't really have to worry about it too much. I'm the only one that has to worry about it. When he turns white, I just switch to fire, and we're good. Everybody ready? Let's kill
Let's
Laz.
do a ready check.
All right, dorks.
It's
You
totally
guys
rad.
ready?
Very nice.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready? Oh, damn you, Lila.
I love it, you son of
Okay, grab them. All right. Oh, that was quick. But now he's got aggro, so as soon as he teleports back, he'll see him.
And Lyle's got the aggro.
Yeah.
So I don't even need to be in line of sight for to wait for him to come back.
No, you want to, you want
But
to
just
stay
pick him
over
up as soon as you
it.
can, so then we can start DPSing. Yeah, and if you can misdirect to him,
Not again, but
I know, but I mean, as soon as you can, then that's really great.
Not bad. Weird.
It's all right.
What do we do about
You got your fear up. Perfect.
We'll just kill him when he teleports. We'll kill that, so.
Oh, hey, Blue Bit. What's his name? Come
You gotta
back.
have a button that pulls him back, right?
Yeah, but
No,
it's not working.
I think he does line He does whatever he
Okay,
wants.
pick him up, pick him up. Misdirect if you got it.
No, not yet. There we go. I got it back. Okay.
I don't have another fear yet.
Oh, I got you, Jugs.
And you got him.
I got Lyle.
You got it.
Needs to do something to get aggro off.
I killed it, don't worry.
No, it's still there.
I killed one of them. There were two.
And I believe we will have a misdirect coming here in a moment. Come on, baby.
Nice.
Come on, baby. Yeah, watch that. Brett.
It'll be alright there. Let's calm it down for a second.
Oh, Schnoobit. What's his name?
Don't blame me for your dog dying.
Damn it, Snoobits.
Damn it, Schnoobins, you killed my cat. That's how I roll.
You got him
Slow.
at 15%.
Yeah, he got slowed for some reason. Totem, do you have a slow totem? There we go.
Still.
Here we go. Suck this fireball. Please be a crit. Ah! Good work. Good work. Nice work. Does he have a corpse? Where's his corpse?
Up here on the mantle.
Okay. It's good work,
Oh,
everybody.
oh.
Watch out, watch
They're
out.
still,
Kill it,
they're
kill it,
still
kill
hitting.
Get in there.
Go, Jimmy, go.
Oh, there's another one.
I got you guys. Get him.
I need to target something first.
You have to
Oh,
target
wow, he
something
teleported right as he died. That's epic.
Oh, cloak.
Anybody want that cloak?
first. Zillions. Everybody can use
Doing all right.
I don't want it.
that. Yeah, I don't want it.
Not DE. Well, we just defeated the fourth boss in the Botanica. And let's go on and clear the trash to the last boss.
Good thing we have a mage.
Dude, look how they're almost all dead. I'm just saying.
Magma Totem does area of effect damage.
So before we get into the warp splinter here, Gogs, do you want to talk a second about totems? Because I know shamans, there's so many different types of totems, and you can have 4 out each, right?
You can have a max of 4, each one representing an element:
Right.
earth, fire, water, and air.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the totems are buffs for the party,
Right.
or dispellers for poisons and diseases, or damage dealers like fire totems and magma totems, things like that.
Gotcha.
And you can also summon elementals, an earth elemental and a fire elemental with totems.
That's pretty cool. So what totems are you dropping now, and what are they?
I'm dropping Wrath of Air, which in our case we have that aids casters and it ups my heals.
Gotcha.
That's my air totem. Mana Spring totem, which
Oh, that's nice.
increases your mana regen.
Nice.
And Stone Skin, which reduces the amount of melee damage taken
Nice.
by everybody.
Okay.
And then
Question.
yes.
Do totems use up mana or anything? You just get
A little bit.
Do they do?
Just
Okay.
a little bit.
But just to drop, it's not like a drain.
Just
right?
a little bit.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
But there's other things like ground, in a pinch, like if all of a sudden, we get an ad that starts casting, you
Yeah.
can drop a grounding totem, and all of a sudden that person's, whatever, arcane missiles or shadow bolts will hit that totem
That's
for a certain
cool.
amount of damage, and it'll kill
Like a
that
grounding
totem.
rod, like a lightning grounding rod.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
That's
Cool.
pretty cool.
Things
And
like
then
that.
also there's a Tremor Tote, which has been very key
Tremor
for
totem
us.
is key when you're getting feared
Yeah.
or scared.
Yeah. Or feared.
Yeah, it can reduce that time by quite a bit.
Well, that's cool, and we're very fortunate because we have 2. We can have 8 totes out at a time, which is pretty.
yeah,
It's
so
pretty epic.
So he can drop like strength, the strength of Earth totem,
Well, he's dropping Wind Fury because he's an elemental
and
shaman,
Wind Fury, which gives you
or an enhancement shaman. So it's
Yeah.
like a buff on your main
it basically
hand weapon.
enchants your main hand weapon,
Yeah, which is
and that's
great.
with the tornado you see.
Yeah.
Is that proccing?
That's cool. I love me some totems. We're here at the final boss, the 5th and final boss in Botanica, Warp Splinter. Now, Warp Splinter is an arcane ancient or an ancient of the arcane from Darnassus that has been warped and confused and is now fighting for the baddies, as I like to say. So what we're supposed to actually do here in Botanica is the Darnassians, I guess. The people at Darnassus, the druids there, want to rebuild Warp Splinter anew in Darnassus, and so we're actually supposed to come in here for a quest and get clippings off of this guy to bring back to Darnassus so they can plant him and over the next hundreds and hundreds of years regrow this person because he's been corrupted. So we're going to go in here and kick his bootay, as it were. So he has a couple things that he does. First off, he does an AoE stun for melee, which is called Stomp. So theoretically, you'll just be stunned, as it were. Same with Juggernaut, our melee shaman. He also summons ads, and the ads are treants. They're very, very slow, and they'll slowly come around somebody. But they actually heal him a little bit. Now, we've got pretty decent DPS going on here, so what I'm thinking is, Lyle, if you see them slowly coming towards you, run into Lyle. When they all get around you, Lyle, do your fear.
Okay.
I'm hoping we only get one wave. If they become an issue, then maybe Dorkins and I will peel off, and we'll just take them, as it were. Because they're pretty easy to add. I mean, they're not elemental or elites or anything like that, so it should be pretty easy. The other thing he does is Arcane Volley, so you actually want to tank him butt away. So run through him.
And face him away from you guys.
Face him away from us.
Done.
Let's give him a shot, shall we?
Ready check incoming. Here we go.
Does anybody need int?
Yes.
Your tank does not.
Take it. It's good for you.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, it's smarter.
Makes you healthy.
Who disturbs this sanctuary?
Oh!
Oh, wow, I was actually
Back up,
in range of
boys.
the stomp.
Okay,
That's Stomp.
So back up.
I got you.
Here come the ints.
Who are they after?
If you see him going towards
They're
you,
coming after me.
Need me to run over there and clear
run
him?
towards Lyle. Run towards Lyle.
I'll get silenced and not be able to heal.
Okay, run towards him. Okay, Lyle, wait for it. Feared.
Feared.
Good work, good work. Okay, double critted pyroblasts for like
I got you,
a
Juggy.
lot.
All right, here they come.
He's almost
They're
dead.
either on me or Dorkins, I'm not sure.
I got one
I
crap.
don't have another fear.
You don't have another fear at all?
Nope.
Burn
Burn him.
Oh, we got stunned.
Silence. It's fine. Burn him.
It's okay, I'm gonna do area attack.
You got him.
Oh, I died. Damn it!
Watch the trance.
Nice
Kill
work.
that. We still got to kill him.
Nice work. Nice work.
Healing you,
So
Jug.
I died, but we succeeded! Maybe that's a win!
Oh, it's definitely a win.
How's that death meter look?
No, I've been dying a lot, I'm not gonna lie to you. Alright, well that's it for Warp Splinter. Good work, everybody. Good work. And that is a wrap on Botanica, babies. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Gauntlets of Dissension.
Do you want those?
I don't need them. No, they're
For your
mine are better.
offset?
Mine are better.
Okay.
Okay.
We got some stuff here. Need on the Primal Nether. Everybody roll a need.
Just roll.
Yeah, we have Master Looter, so.
Son of a...
Oh, me and Lyle got a roll off.
Wait, I haven't rolled.
If Schnoobins doesn't beat you, which he didn't.
Yeah, he was
Okay,
too
roll
busy
off.
loading his roll hack. Oh!
Milo gets it.
Nice.
35-32.
So we have done it. We defeated Botanica in the Tempest Keep instance group. We had a great time. We destroyed some plants, which is always satisfying. A lot of blood elves lost their lives. Sorry about that, hoardy-wardy ding-dongs. See you next week when we are taking on... I can't remember what we're doing next week. Something amazing. Sethic Halls. Stick around. I love me some totems.